Welcome back to the ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we're diving deep into the explosive twists and turns awaiting us in the next 2 weeks. From September 15th to September 26th, where shocking returns, family feuds, and heartbreaking losses promise to keep Port Charles on edge. Let's start with the whirlwind of drama surrounding Nathan West's mysterious comeback, a plotline that's set to ignite fresh intrigue and unanswered questions. Fans have long mourned Nathan's tragic death, but whispers of his survival are about to shatter the status quo. Imagine the chaos as this beloved detective reemerges from the shadows, his face perhaps scarred from whatever ordeal kept him hidden all these years. The storyline hints at a web of deception that could involve long-buried secrets from his past, including ties to criminal underworld figures who might have faked his demise for their own gain. As Nathan steps back into the spotlight, expect emotional reunions laced with suspicion. Will his loved ones embrace him, or demand proof that he's not an imposter wearing a familiar mask? This revelation isn't just a simple return. It's a catalyst for reevaluating loyalties and dredging up old vendettas that have simmered beneath the surface of Port Charles society. Meanwhile, Anna Devane is on a relentless quest for truths about Caesar Faison, the villain whose shadow still looms large over her life. With her sharp investigative instincts sharper than ever, Anna might uncover documents or witnesses that point to Faison's lingering influence, perhaps through a secret network of loyalists who've been pulling strings from afar. Picture her poring over encrypted files in a dimly lit room, her determination fueled by personal vendettas and the fear that Faison's evil genius could still be at play. This pursuit isn't without peril. Anna's digging could lead her into traps set by those who want the past to stay buried, adding layers of suspense as she balances her role as a protector with the risks of getting too close to the fire. Her journey might even intersect with other characters' arcs, revealing how Faison's machinations have tainted multiple lives in unexpected ways, from hidden alliances to forgotten betrayals that resurface at the worst possible moments. Jason Morgan, the stoic enforcer, is bracing for a devastating setback that could test his unbreakable resolve like never before. This crushing blow might come in the form of a betrayal from a trusted ally, or a failure in one of his high-stakes missions, leaving him questioning his path forward. Envision Jason standing alone on the docks, the weight of his decisions crashing down as he grapples with the fallout. His storyline could explore deeper themes of isolation and redemption, with flashbacks to pivotal moments that shaped his hardened exterior. As Jason navigates this turmoil, his interactions with family and friends will highlight the human side beneath his tough facade, perhaps leading to rare moments of vulnerability that draw viewers in emotionally. Shifting gears to the week of September 15th to 19th, Nina Reeves steps up as a peacemaker in the fractured relationship between Britt Westburn and her mother, Liesl Obrecht. Nina, drawing from her own experiences with complicated family ties, might organize a heartfelt intervention, complete with shared memories and pleas for understanding. But Liesl's fury over Britt's fake death runs deep. Imagine her unleashing a tirade, filled with accusations of abandonment, her eyes blazing with the pain of a mother who grieved unnecessarily. This conflict could escalate into dramatic confrontations in public spots like the Metro Court, where onlookers witness the raw emotion. Britt's return has already stirred the pot, and Liesl's refusal to forgive quickly adds tension, forcing both women to confront the lies that nearly destroyed their bond. New elements might include Britt revealing a hidden reason for her disappearance, like protecting Liesl from a dangerous threat, which could soften the edges of their rift, but not without more explosive arguments. At the same time, Anna scores crucial new evidence that could upend ongoing investigations. This proof, possibly planted by the cunning Brick to frame Drew Kane for bribing Judge Eva Heron, might come in the form of forged documents or surveillance footage that Anna deciphers with her expert eye. Her discovery could lead to late-night stakeouts or alliances with unlikely partners, heightening the stakes as she pieces together a puzzle that implicates powerful figures. This development ties into broader themes of justice and corruption in Port Charles, where no one is truly safe from the machinations of those in power. Willow Tate finds herself in yet another heated clash with Nina, pushing their fragile dynamic to the brink. Willow's lingering resentment, amplified by Drew's influence, might manifest in sharp words during a chance encounter at the hospital, where accusations fly about manipulation and control. Nina, finally reaching her boiling point, lashes out with unfiltered honesty, perhaps revealing vulnerabilities from her own turbulent past to defend her actions. This exchange could invent new layers, like Willow discovering a shared secret that humanizes Nina, forcing her to reconsider her stance. The fallout might ripple into their extended family, affecting how others view their ongoing feud and setting the stage for potential reconciliation or further alienation. Over with Christina Corinthos Davis, she offers words of encouragement to Cody Bell, urging him to pursue a genuine connection with Molly Lansing Davis despite past obstacles. Christina, reflecting on her own romantic missteps, might share personal anecdotes to inspire Cody, envisioning scenarios where he wins Molly over with grand gestures. This subplot adds a touch of hope amid the drama, exploring themes of second chances and the courage to fight for love. In a town full of complications, Emma Scorpio Drake and Giovanni Joe Palmieri stumble upon disturbing information that shakes their world. This could revolve around a suspicious shipment linked to Professor Henry Hank Dalton, perhaps involving a catastrophic crash that exposes illicit dealings. Imagine them piecing together clues from overheard conversations or anonymous tips, their youthful curiosity turning into real danger. Joe turns to Sonny Corinthos for a special favor, maybe requesting protection or resources to investigate further, showcasing Sonny's paternal instincts. Ultimately, Joe steps up to support Emma in her hour of need, perhaps rescuing her from a perilous situation tied to the shipment, strengthening their budding alliance with acts of bravery. Lulu Spencer emerges as a hero by coming to the aid of an accident victim, which might very well be the returning Nathan West. The scene could unfold on a rainy Port Charles street, with Lulu administering first aid while grappling with the shock of seeing a ghost from her past. Nathan's survival would send shockwaves through the community, prompting a barrage of questions about how he evaded death, perhaps involving experimental treatments or a witness protection program gone awry. This rescue not only revives old flames, but also introduces new mysteries, like who orchestrated his disappearance and why now is the time for his return. Britt Westburn encounters someone who's far from thrilled about her reappearance, leading to a tense standoff that highlights her isolation in Port Charles. This unhappy reunion might occur in a crowded cafe, with barbed words exchanged that dredge up past grievances. Later, Britt humbles herself with a sincere plea, possibly begging Liesel for forgiveness in a tearful moment that rebuilds their mother-daughter connection. Invented details could include Britt sharing untold stories from her time away, like narrow escapes from danger, to justify her choices and seek redemption. Jason takes on the somber task of sharing tragic news about Monica Quartermain's passing, a loss that reverberates through the Quartermain clan. Monica's demise, perhaps from a prolonged illness complicated by family stress, leaves a void filled with grief. Jason and Tracy Quartermain might bond over shared memories in the Quartermain mansion, exchanging stories of Monica's strength that inspire reflection. Elizabeth Baldwin informs Drew of the news, setting off a chain of emotional responses, while Danny Morgan makes a heartfelt plea likely to ensure Scout attends the funeral, emphasizing the importance of family unity in mourning. Looking ahead to the week of September 22nd to 26th, the debut of One Life to Live star Erica Slezak as Monica's long-lost sister introduces fresh intrigue. This new character could arrive with a mysterious backstory, claiming a stake in the Quartermain legacy and clashing with Tracy over Monica's will. Martin Gray might assist in legal battles, uncovering forged documents or hidden assets that fuel courtroom drama. Liesel Obrecht could faint upon learning of Nathan's survival, her dramatic reaction amplifying the shock value. The mystery deepens with questions about how Nathan cheated death, possibly linking back to Faison's twisted experiments that granted him a second chance at life. Anna's suspicion that Faison is behind it all drives her investigation, but getting too close to the truth puts her in mortal danger, perhaps, facing off against a Faison loyalist in a high-stakes chase. The Drew Kane probe escalates with an impending arrest, potentially ensnaring Michael Corinthos. If Michael ends up behind bars, it might ironically clear his name if another attempt on Drew's life occurs, shifting suspicion elsewhere and exposing the real culprit in a twist that keeps viewers guessing. NEXT. We're unraveling the sizzling aftermath of Josslyn and Vaughn's high-stakes adventure in Croatia, where survival instincts sparked a flame that could either flicker out or erupt into a full-blown inferno back in Port Charles. The chaos at the Five Poppies Hotel may have subsided, but the echoes of that perilous mission are far from fading, especially for Josslyn Jax and her enigmatic partner Vaughn. Picture this: trapped in a foreign land, dodging the lethal schemes of the ruthless Pascal. These two WSB operatives stared death in the face, their hearts pounding not just from fear but from an undeniable chemistry. that culminated in a night of raw, unbridled passion. It wasn't merely a momentary escape, it was a profound connection born from shared vulnerability, where whispered confidences in the dim hotel room wove their fates together. Now, as they returned to the familiar streets of Port Charles bearing invisible wounds and secret memories, the big question looms: will this adrenaline-fueled encounter remain a fleeting memory, locked away like a classified file? Or will it evolve into a passionate romance that defies all odds, inventing new layers to their bond? Perhaps Joss recalls a tender moment where Vaughn bandaged her injuries, his touch lingering longer than necessary, hinting at emotions that predate their ordeal. The Croatian escapade, with its blend of danger and desire, sets the stage for a storyline rich in tension, forcing them to navigate the blurry line between duty and the heart's unpredictable pull. Surviving such life or death stakes often forges unbreakable ties, and for Joss and Vaughn, their intimacy at the Five Poppies was no exception. It was a crucible that melted away pretenses and revealed raw truths. Locked in a cramped cell, fearing Pascal's next move, they found solace in each other's arms, a release valve for the terror that gripped them. This wasn't some casual fling, it was amplified by the trust they built, especially when Britt Westburn's covert burner phone connected them to Jason Morgan for a daring rescue. Back home, those intense memories might manifest in subtle ways, perhaps a knowing smile during a debriefing, or a private joke about Croatian cuisine that outsiders wouldn't understand. Yet, as dedicated WSB agents, the pressure to maintain professionalism is immense. Any romantic entanglement could jeopardize missions, with protocols designed to prevent emotional distractions from clouding judgment. Joss, known for her fiery independence and history of bold romantic decisions, might be tempted to fan the flames, drawing from past relationships that taught her to seize the moment. In contrast, Vaughn's disciplined background, perhaps shaped by years in covert operations across Europe, could make him the voice of reason, urging restraint to protect their careers, adding inventive depth. Imagine Vaughn carrying a small memento from that night, a torn piece of fabric from Joss's outfetus, a silent reminder of what they shared, complicating his resolve to keep things platonic. Keeping their dynamic strictly business upon returning to Port Charles proves to be a Herculean task, layered with secrets and external pressures that threaten to unravel everything. Joss's double life as a WSB recruit remains a tightly guarded secret from her mother Carly Spencer and best friend Trina Robinson, creating a web of deception that adds immense strain. One wrong word about her exploits, or her growing feelings for Vaughn, could blow her cover wide open, potentially destroying Jack Brennan's budding romance with Carly in the process. Vaughn, with fewer personal ties to the town's intricate drama, might advocate for a clean slate, emphasizing the need to safeguard their identities, especially if whispers of Jen Sidwell's vendetta follow them across the ocean, turning Port Charles into a potential battleground. However, the everyday temptations of normalcy, like a seemingly innocent coffee run at Kelly's Diner cold, erode their defenses, leading to stolen glances or accidental touches that reignite the spark from Croatia. Fans are buzzing with speculation that Joss's impulsive nature, honed through years of family crises and personal heartaches, will clash spectacularly with Vaughn's stoic restraint, possibly culminating in a heated argument where suppressed emotions boil over. To enrich this narrative, invent a new element where Joss confides in a journal about her conflicting feelings, pages filled with sketches of the Five Poppies that symbolize both trauma and temptation, highlighting her internal struggle to balance heart and duty. If Joss and Vaughn dare to pursue a romance, the results could be nothing short of electric, yet fraught with peril that extends far beyond their personal lives. WSB regulations strictly prohibit such entanglements, viewing them as liabilities that could compromise operational security. Imagine the fallout if Jack Brennan discovers their indiscretion, potentially sidelining them from active duty, or worse, exposing the entire network to risks. Their chemistry, forged in the fires of survival, might lead to clandestine meetings in hidden corners of Port Charles, like the shadowy docks where whispers of affection mix with strategic discussions. But danger lurks. Should Carly or Jason stumble upon not just the fling, but Joss's hidden agent role, it could shatter family bonds, with Carly's protective instincts clashing against feelings of betrayal. Alternatively, forcing themselves into a professional mold might create unbearable tension, where unspoken desires lead to awkward silences or even professional missteps, setting the stage for heartbreak as they deny what their hearts demand. Inventing fresh twists. Perhaps Vaughn receives a cryptic message from a former WSB colleague warning about the perils of mixing love with espionage, drawing parallels to a past mission that ended in tragedy due to a similar romance, adding a cautionary tale that weighs heavily on his decisions. Ultimately, the bond Joss and Vaughn formed in Croatia hangs in the balance. Will it dissolve into a poignant, what-if memory, preserved only in their private thoughts? Or will it blossom into a forbidden love affair that challenges the very foundations of their worlds? As the storyline unfolds, viewers are left pondering the delicate dance between passion and protocol, with Port Charles's ever-watchful eyes adding layers of complexity. The trauma they endured might strengthen their resolve to explore this connection, or it could serve as a stark reminder of why agents must keep their hearts guarded, with elements like potential interference from Sidwell's lingering threats, or unexpected allies stepping into council restraint. The narrative promises twists that keep us on the edge of our seats, whether they choose to ignite the spark or snuff it out. One thing's certain, this duo's journey is poised to deliver drama, desire, and dilemmas that redefine relationships in the General Hospital universe. Next, we're peeling back the layers on a potential bombshell revelation, where Jason Morgan uncovers the shadowy depths of Drew Kane's true nature. A discovery that could rewrite the history of betrayal and identity in Port Charles. The undercurrents of Drew Kane's darker side are finally bubbling to the surface, catching the attention of his family and the watchful residents of Port Charles, who are starting to question the man they've come to know. Whispers of malice have grown louder, painting Drew not as the reformed hero, but as a figure harboring grudges that stretch back decades. Imagine Jason, with his unyielding sense of justice, stumbling upon clues that link Drew to ancient vendettas, perhaps a forgotten journal entry, or a cryptic message from a long-lost informant that hints at Drew's calculated moves against his own blood. This emerging evil isn't just random, it's rooted in a lifetime of perceived slights, where Drew's charm masks a simmering resentment. As Jason delves deeper, he might encounter invented elements like a hidden audio recording from Betsy Frank, Drew's adoptive mother, confessing to early signs of his manipulative tendencies, adding a chilling psychological dimension to Drew's character. The citizens of Port Charles, from the bustling docks to the elite circles, are abuzz with speculation, forcing everyone to reevaluate alliances and wonder if Drew's affable facade has been a masterful deception all along. At the heart of this unfolding drama is the haunting possibility that Drew targeted his own brother, Jason, in a plot of revenge that dates back to a fateful shooting orchestrated by Caesar Faison, who was masquerading as Duke Lavery at the time. Jason's near-fatal encounter left him vulnerable, captured and subjected to a sinister brain-mapping procedure alongside his then-unknown twin, Drew. The procedure's failure on Jason was predictable, given his prior traumatic brain injury that rendered his mind resistant to such manipulations, a detail that medical experts in Port Charles might now revisit with fresh eyes. Drew, however, proved pliable, his psyche altered in ways that could have been premeditated. Envision Jason piecing together this puzzle in a dimly lit warehouse, flashbacks assaulting him of that cold lab where electrodes hummed and Faison's laughter echoed, revealing how Drew might have been complicit from the start. To expand this narrative, invent a new twist where Jason discovers a concealed scar on Drew's temple from the procedure, matching descriptions in classified WSB files, which ignites doubts about Drew's innocence and suggests he volunteered for the mapping to infiltrate Jason's life. Drew's early years under Betsy Frank's care set the stage for his potential vendetta, a childhood marked by abandonment and a devastating head injury that altered his path forever. Raised in isolation, Drew might have nurtured a deep-seated envy toward Jason, the twin who was kept while he was discarded like yesterday's news, fueling a desire for payback that festered over time. Picture young Drew, bandaged and bitter after his fall, overhearing whispers about his privileged sibling, planting seeds of resentment that grew into a thorny obsession. This injury not only physically scarred him, but perhaps amplified his cunning, turning a boy into a man capable of long-game schemes. Adding inventive depth, perhaps Betsy left behind letters detailing Drew's childhood rages, where he fantasized about swapping places with Jason, providing Jason with tangible evidence that Drew's actions were driven by a twisted sense of justice, aiming to claim the life he believed was rightfully his. Key players like Peter August and Helena Casadini were well aware of Drew's true identity, raising suspicions that Drew himself craved Jason's existence and seamlessly slipped into it. When the opportunity rose, these masterminds, with their web of secrets, might have groomed Drew as a pawn. But what if he was an eager participant, eyeing Jason's world with covetous intent? Drew's integration into Port Charles' life first cozying up to Elizabeth Weber, then pursuing Sam McCall feels too convenient, as if he relished embodying his brother's persona. Invent a fresh element where Jason uncovers encrypted emails between Peter and Drew, predating the brain mapping, outlining a plan to usurp Jason's identity, complete with details on how Drew studied Jason's mannerisms from afar to perfect the impersonation. This revelation could expose Drew's ambition, showing how he didn't just fall into Jason's shoes but orchestrated the steps to wear them, blending into the fabric of Port Charles society with chilling precision. The pivotal moment came when a computer program mistakenly identified Drew as Jason, but spoilers hint that Drew might have been privy to this mix-up long before Ava Jerem's car accident drastically altered his appearance. That crash, covered up by Jordan Ashford in a bid to shield Ava, necessitated facial reconstruction that conveniently erased any lingering resemblances, allowing Drew to fully embrace his new role. Suddenly, he felt an inexplicable pull towards Sam and Danny Morgan, stepping into Jason's family life while the real Jason languished in a Russian prison. To enrich this arc, imagine Jason finding a pre-accident photo of Drew that matches descriptions from Russian captors, suggesting Drew knew of Jason's imprisonment and chose to exploit it, perhaps even tipping off handlers to prolong Jason's captivity. This period of usurpation highlights Drew's adaptability, as he navigated relationships with Sonny Corinthos and Carly Spencer without a hitch, only turning hostile when his ruse began to crumble. Tensions escalated dramatically when Jason returned, confronting Drew in a showdown that exposed the fractures in their brotherhood. Jason, ever the steadfast one, immediately reclaimed his identity, but Drew's vehement denials and attempts to prove he was the true Jason screamed of deeper insecurities and malice. The fallout was brutal. Jason regained his fortune and life, leaving Drew seething with rage, a bitterness that poisoned his subsequent choices. Sam initially stuck by Drew, but her eventual return to Jason underscored the authenticity of true connections, leaving Drew isolated and suspicious in the eyes of many fans. Inventing new intrigue, perhaps Jason stumbles upon a hidden ledger where Drew documented his fury post-confrontation, entries filled with plots to undermine Jason's rebuilding efforts, including subtle sabotages and business dealings that tie back to the brain mapping origins. Even now, as Drew's actions draw scrutiny, the lingering question is whether Jason will unearth the full extent of his brother's involvement in the brain mapping nightmare, a truth that could shatter the fragile peace in Port Charles. Fans remain divided, with some still wary of Drew's motives, sensing that his charm conceals a vendetta that never truly faded. This potential discovery promises explosive confrontations, where Jason, armed with irrefutable proof, forces Drew to confront his demons, adding a final inventive layer. Envision Jason allying with an unexpected source like Anna Devane, who provides decrypted files linking Drew to Faison's inner circle, culminating in a tense interrogation that unravels years of deception and sets the stage for redemption or ruin. There you have it. Dedicated fans, a deep exploration into the twisted saga of Jason and Drew that could change everything. Stay tuned for more jaw-dropping updates, and remember to like, subscribe, and share your theories in the comments.